AKAPADers, here we go. Episode, say it with me, 462 of AKAPAD's Audio Audacity podcast. Yeah, this is the movie that I played hooky, Doctor Strange 2, in the Multiverse of Madness. The title alone set the internet on fire. Tons of that internet anticipation. Let's get through that intro, because there's a lot to unpack here, and we're weeks and weeks and weeks after the release, because we don't just do these hey, let's just jump on the review and talk about it when everyone else is doing it for the clicks. We don't care about the clicks here. We just care about sound conversation, sound opinion. Let's go. Yeah, so what exactly am I talking about? Look. I keep saying it. I'm not going to back away from it. There's plenty of you that have expressed, you've given me your opinions that I talk about this too much. Film review is dead. Film criticism is dead. Even when politics are deeply embedded in everything. And it's not just politics. It's ideology. It's perception, a way of life. It's the we forget that we have a pursuit of happiness, a God-given right to do anything we want, as long as we're not, breaking capital crimes or committing capital crimes. You guys get the picture. So, we get things like Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness. Sequel, I mean, I never thought in my entire life I would ever be in a position to see a sequel to a Doctor Strange movie, let alone have a successful Doctor Strange movie. To have a guy like Benedict Cumberbatch, his name alone just sounds like a Disney villain, like it does. So, but anyway. But it's extraordinary that we're even here, and we have someone like Benedict, who has now portrayed the character in multiple movies outside of Doctor Strange. I do feel like it was a misfire. I hope that they retcon and put it back into WandaVision. I just feel like Doctor Strange was required in WandaVision, especially at the end, because we did want like an extra bump at the end of WandaVision. But look, there's a lot of decisions now, and some of them are for you can argue that a lot of these decisions are for a group of people that may not even consume the content. They may not even be invested in the content the level that most people are, and it goes both ways. Because there's been plenty of failures where they've caved in to internet and Twitter and social media pressure, and it failed. And there's been plenty of times where they caved into like the geek core, which precedes, like these SJW movements that come up through social media. Like it fails all around. And when it works, it works. And when it doesn't, everyone is an expert. Look, we see this in sports. We see this in the stocks. We see this in politics. We see it everywhere. Like everyone is a backseat quarterback, backseat driver, so to speak, or they call it Monday morning quarterback. So what's the real point with all of this? Well, they say if you have to state your point, you're failing at it. Well, I guess I am, but. We have to appreciate that we're in a Doctor Strange sequel about the multiverse. It's wild. It's amazing that they can even go there, that they can even go to almost the subtitle for the movie is very inside baseball. Like you kind of have to be in the know, in the current, to even know what a multiverse even is. And Disney and Co. and Kevin Feige and all of those guys, all the Disney Plus rollouts, Loki, WandaVision, they all moved the needle, just the needle of understanding of what some of the prime concepts are. Now, we get Spider-Man Far From Home. This now solidifies the idea of the multiverse, and multiverse itself is sold through nostalgia with the combination of the three Spider-Man that we saw in Far From Home. It's coagulated, it has dried. Okay, it's risen to the top. Any of those terms that help you visualize what we have here, and then we get into the movie. Look, the movie explains everything. You understand every single stake along the way. This movie acts as a sequel to Avengers Endgame, Doctor Strange, WandaVision, Spider-Man Far From Home. I'm probably forgetting one or two other things. Very similar to how some of the Avengers movies, like Avengers Infinity War, acted as a sequel to Thor Ragnarok. So it's successful on that. I mean, the internet won. Within this movie, we got John Krasinski, Jim from The Office himself, the Quiet Place guy, who cannot get a movie role because he's too associated with The Office. He gets cast in a major role that the internet was howling at the moon about. And guess what they do? They killed the mother effer. Yeah. So that was shocking even when I read those leaks. I didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't think they were going to do it. But anyway, so my journey to see this movie, it was a horrible, rainy day in Philly. I was bouncing around. For some reason, I thought I could make a 3 o'clock showtime. I hustled my butt off. I got stuck in West Philly waiting for a lot of the rain to calm down. I get out of the movie. I have work emails to jump on, so I'm in Panera Bread. Crazy thunderstorm. The YOLO, okay? YOLO weather. But yeah, I walked back eventually. It was just one of those like, oh my God, grinding days. But it was satisfactory because second movie in my life that I saw by myself. First one being Aquaman, also documented on this very show. But then here we go, right? We have to talk about the quality of the movie. Well, this movie is put together. I mean, it's there. I mean, the amazing special effects. They listened to the internet. We got almost like a god level villain, introduction of new characters, like all of these cool things. But the movie itself betrays the audience because if you don't know everything I just told you, you cannot go into this movie cold. I keep saying this now. It's getting worse and worse, which is almost leads to the next episode, 463, Miss Marvel, where I'm giving Miss Marvel this amazing recommendation just because it's effing fresh. You can just jump in on it. You don't need much. Very much like Moon Knight, but there was expectations with Moon Knight, so curve. And then there's expectations, zero expectations with Miss Marvel. No curve. So there you go. But no, this movie, it's a recommendation to continue the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's a recommendation on the glory of modern day filmmaking, giant set pieces, the attack on the temple. Wanda just, she attacks the Illuminati, amazing scene. She attacks this Doctor Strange temple, amazing. The battle at the end, which is very reminiscent to visually what we saw in Loki episode 6. It's all magnificent. It's all there. Wanda, we sort of understand the type of villain she is because it's a little bit of a variant, but it's not, or she's hunting a variant. You know what? To be honest, I'm not 100% clear on that. I have to confess, right? Is the WandaVision and multiverse the proper, or the what they will call the 616 Wanda? I don't even know. But this movie has one secret weapon. His name is Danny Elfman, collaborating with Sam Raimi, our director. I can get into a little bit of that stuff, but I don't think it's interesting. But the music by a master of the craft. It's awesome. It's underrated. It's just overlooked, but the music alone is worth a look. Same Rami. Everyone's like, this is so Rami. It's not. There's hardly any. There's a few shots. Not a big deal. They let them have it. Okay, because we are kind of using your name. We Scott Dickinson, right? The original director basically told the MCU to go scratch to make Black Phone with Blumhouse, and that movie is looks phenomenal. And I kind of want to say he probably made the better choice when it comes to the career of a young filmmaker. So, young in the game filmmaker, I'll say, or young filmmaker, mean like he's young at making big budget. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, so I think you guys saw this coming. It's a recommendation, MCU, non-recommendation for a standalone movie. We will discuss. I'm waiting for episode 2 of Miss Marvel. I don't know where it is. I thought maybe like I thought a week went by and it didn't. I don't know. I've just been drinking a lot. Rock and roll, people. Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. You know the 2 levels of recommendation. Now coming up, we got. I want to talk to you guys about Ambulance. I want to talk to you guys about Tom Cruise Maverick, which I recently just saw twice. I want to talk to you guys about the Batman because I continuously keep rewatching that movie. There's a lot. There's a lot coming, but I believe we're putting the MCU to rest after this, and I guess I have to say it. What a wasted post-credit scene in Spider-Man Far From Home. They completely blew the Venom wad, and that's actually reminding me where I did want to talk to you guys about Venom 2, and that post-credit scene. So let's just jump into some of that, and then we'll get into Miss Marvel. So editing and reprogramming as I go along. So episode 463, post-credit scene. No, maybe 463 will be Venom. Let's just rewatch Venom, and then I don't know what to do. Okay, I'll figure it out. AKA Padders, I love you. Rock and roll.